Bone tutorial video by Aisha and Posey.
Ho ho ho!
Our first x-ray is the skull fracture. This results from a blow to the head. They can sometimes be associated with an underlying brain injury that may require immediate surgical treatment.
Ulna and radius fractures. Transverse fractures like this one are usually caused by a fall or direct strike to the arm, for example, being hit with a baseball bat.
The third x-ray is hip dislocation. Hip dislocations are most commonly caused by high-energy impacts like auto accidents, but can also be caused by a fall from a significant height. Spongy bone is also called cancellous or trabecular bone. It is found in the long bone and is surrounded by compact bone. On the other hand, compact bone, also called cortical bone, surrounds spongy bone. They are heavy, tough, and compact in nature. Spongy bone helps with flexibility, while compact bone helps with structural purposes. The Haversian canal provides a pathway for blood vessels and nerves to travel through the compact bone, delivering nutrients and oxygen to the osteocytes. Osteocytes are specialized bone cells primarily responsible for maintaining bone homeostasis by sensing mechanical stress on the bone. The canaliculi are microscopic channels found within bone tissue that primarily function to enable communication and nutrient exchange between osteocytes or bone cells.
Wow!
Bone trabeculi are the supporting tissues that provide strength and structure to bones. Trabecula are made up of columns and rows of connective tissue that form a web-like structure. A type of bone that we observed under the microscope is called the spongy bone. This is the human body skeleton. Let's take a look at its 4 different types of bones.
Long bones can be found throughout your body, for example, your femur bone and humerus bone. Short bones are roughly cube-shaped. They can be found in your hands, which are called the carpal bones, and they can be found in your feet.
Flat bones are somewhat flattened and can provide protection like a shield. Examples are skull, ribcage, shoulders, and pelvis. The next is irregular bones, which includes the spine, pelvis, and face. It helps protect organs and provide support. Located at the ends of the long bones is the epiphysis, which is the primary source of red marrow and is responsible for articulation. The metaphysis is the region between the epiphysis and the diaphysis, and in children, the metaphysis contains the epiphyseal plate. On the shaft is the diaphysis, which is the mid-region of a long bone that contains the bone marrow. The diaphysis is made up of mostly compact bone. The femoral head is the round articulating part that forms the ball of the hip joint, allowing for free movement in all directions. The femoral neck is the narrow connecting section between the head and the shaft, which provides a lever arm for hip muscles to generate movement. The femoral shaft is the long, strong body of the femur, responsible for transmitting forces from the hip to the knee. The femoral condyles is the rounded projections at the distal ends of the femur that articulate with the tibia, enabling knee flexion and extensions. The intra-articular refers to the smooth cartilage surface within the joint, allowing for low friction movement between bones.
You fractured a bone. Let's see the different types of bone fractures.
The first type of bone fracture is called bending, when a bone is bent where the force is applied along its length. The next type of bone fracture is called twisting, where twisting force is applied onto a bone, which creates torsional distress. The third type of bone fracture is called an impact, where a direct hit or sudden force is applied to a bone, which can cause a fracture depending on the intensity of the impact. Here we're going to be looking at a transverse fracture. It is a transverse fracture because it is a break in a bone that runs horizontally, perpendicular to the bone shaft. It's also known as a complete fracture because the break goes all the way through the bone.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.